Hello, everyone. Welcome to third section of the Young Family Forum. We are in the middle of the, one of those moves of the Fair Ladies section, and there are four of them, and a transition out. There's all sorts of things that we're going to be doing, and we have been doing, and so we're going to continue with that today. We are also going to see that the footwork resembles the footwork. The footwork for the move we're doing today uses footwork that's very close to what we did for diagonal flying. So we are going to get to that finally today to review that a little bit and look where they're different and look where they're same. So we will do all of that today. Any questions before we begin today? We also have a new month. It's April. In the month of March, we were looking at expanding the back. And remember that? We were looking at expanding the back and that feeling that relaxation throughout and recessing the chest. We want to keep that. And remember the month before, we were looking at lift the head. So let's get all of that just in our bodies, remembering that. And then these are all things we do during prepare. Then I want you to, how we have our, when we're doing our body shape, how we always extend this little part of our lower back. So it's not like curving out. It's hanging flat and down and long, that lower part of our back. And maybe it tips in a little, but we're not doing this, right? We're not pulling in, right? You're not putting our hips forward. Our hips are not forward, but we're just dropping down straight. So we call this relaxing the waist. The waist is this little part of our back here. And it's very helpful in lots of things. It is helpful, today we're going to talk about mostly it being helpful in keeping the bottom of our spine where it needs to be. It also, because when you relax that whole area around the back of your spine, you're able to do all sorts of other transmissions of energy by keeping the very center of you able to move like a ball. But the first step of that is relaxing the waist. And that means you don't want all sorts of tight muscles. I mean, sometimes you have to tighten your glutes, that's all right, but you don't want to be tight. So I want you to give you a feeling for this. First of all, I want you to get sort of tight. So you can tighten your glutes, your butt muscles. You can tighten those. You can tighten everything up. Just in through here. And now I want you to put your attention on trying to turn out. Just, do you feel how that's kind of hard to turn out? I want you to be so tight that you actually get some resistance. Now, I want you to do it on the other side. Again, tight. Tight in that back part too. For me, anyway, it's hard to turn out. Now, I want you to be a gorilla. Just be a gorilla. Just sort of shake and, our upper body is not the gorilla, but I want your lower body. I want your lower body to be a gorilla. And it turns out gorillas are actually made differently. We have the option to be gorillas and then stop being gorillas, kind of in our lower back. They can only always be gorillas, but I want this flat. Now, gorilla your lower back. You know what I mean. It's kind of this thing, but it's down here. It's down in the bottom. Now, how does this feel? How far can you turn out? I see some of you are noticing a difference. How far can you turn? Now, I'm not turning my upper body. I'm turning out here, see? Turning out here. If you're too tight in some areas, this gets hard. Find those muscles that make it hard or connections that make it hard. but relax those. Relax those. You can still have your glute tight, sort of surprisingly. You can still have your glute tight and have it go out. Nice, nice. Now, I'm not necessarily turning my hips. Put your hands on your hips. I mean, I'm not turning the upper hips, right? I'm just turning here. Nice, because this is going to help with that footwork that we were talking about earlier. But it helps to sort of be a gorilla. Remember I told you before about Mike Lucero and how he talked, I'm going to do it this way. He talked about, you know, when you're doing a, when you're going back and forth, backwards and forwards in a bow stance, front leg straighter, Tai Chi straight, back leg back. Do you see how the center of my body is along this center line? It's not like doing this, right? It's doing this. And he says, imagine a weight, he even said like a bowling ball, hanging from the bottom of your spine. And you're always moving it intentionally. And you move it from right here in the center of you, the center of your spine, you're moving it. Sometimes we do go to the corner, right? Right? We do go to the corner. And then we take that bowling ball all the way to the corner, right? And then we bring it back to center. Sometimes we do that. But when we just go back and forth, I'm now too close to the camera and too far away to really show it. But it stays on this center line. So keeping that gorilla sort of feeling in your lower back, nice and long here, is what is part of relax the waist. And that's the part we're going to work on today. All right. Any questions about that? Yes, Michael.
So what you're saying is when we do rollbacks and you're thinking about the ball at the bottom, the ball's not going on an angle. It's the ball's coming straight back as you roll back.
Yes.
Roll back, but I mean, you push and then you get ready for your single whip.
So when you're at when you come and you're doing push, for sure. In fact, let's do that for a moment. Can you do push as a gorilla? I want you to get into the push, and then say you're a gorilla. I want you to like be a gorilla, even if your upper body goes bad. Feel that you're not like this, you're like this. And then push forward. And then I want you to come back over that ball, feel like a gorilla and push forward. This is a very good, you can do it on the left side and on the right side, because remember, we kind of do this in apparent closing up. We're pushing with our left foot forward.
So again, you're saying that if it was imaginary bowling ball, it would stay in the center as you come back.
It would. It's gonna feel a little different in rollback. Rollback just feels different, but I think you're still centered. The times when it's not, you know, when you do this kind of thing, now that bowling ball is gonna move over to the side for sure, and you're gonna swing out the other foot, and then it's gonna come back onto that center line so that it's right here. But so you know where you're moving to. Are you going to stand in the corner? You have to move it towards the corner. If you're just shifting your weight, that bowling ball is going tends to be just going straight back. Now, when your hips are turned, but the bowling ball is there. Here, maybe if I do it this way, you can see it. It's hard because the camera, wherever I move, the camera's not perfect.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's start. Let's just be conscious of that as we do our as we begin. From cross hands. Yes, that's where we are. Oh, but we're going to be over here a little further. Let's be over here. All right. From cross hands, embrace tiger, return to mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Diagonal, single whip. Parting the wild horse's mane. Remember, pass the diagonal. 1, 2. 3. Transition to grasp the bird's tail. Left, ward off. Right, ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Fair lady, number 1. Foot all the way to the corner. Gaze stops at the corner. Step, shuttle, separate step, and strike. From single whip, let's do that last move again. Fair lady works the shuttles. Shifting back, turning, left hand rotates, gaze stops at the corner, left hand swings, coming back, right hand opens, right foot pivots, right hand turns, you put the heel down, 1 line, 2 sides, shuttle, separate step, and strike. And 1 more practice time, a little faster to remember this from last week. From single whip, shifting to center and back and turn. Shifting back, open that right arm, rotate step, shuttle, separate step, and strike. Same thing 1 more time, then we'll take questions. Now I'm going to call out those turns, the turns of our upper body. We're shifting back, turn, all the way to the corner, chest to the corner, Oh, chest opens up to 12 o'clock. And chest back to the corner. Chest open to 3 o'clock. Chest back to the corner. How are we feeling about the beginning of section 3? Any questions before we get to our review of Fair Lady number 1? Any questions about anything before that? All right. How are we with Fair Lady number 1? All right, needs practice, right? Needs it. What's hard about it? Is it mostly just that it's all new, or what's your thoughts? Mostly that it's all new. All right, well then, or come on, Erlen, you can tell me. It is all new. It's hard.
No, it's I like to run it, and really just the coordination of the arms and the chest turn or body turn. It's not feeling like fluid right now, but that's just a matter of repetition, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do it at various speeds and maybe even do it in various directions. Take a little time with that and put that on the video. So so how about we actually start away from, so everybody, yes, everybody goes away. Sounds good. And then we're going to start Fair Lady number 1, shifting back, turn, foot to the corner, arm swings, gaze stays at the corner. I'm coming back now. This gives you another view. Change my foot and my hand. Arms come together on this diagonal line as I shuttle underneath. And then big turn, warding off up, and my arms separated. Now I come through, bend knee, and strike and ward off above my head. Let's do that one more time. And shift back, turn, foot stops at the corner, gaze stops at the corner, back, pivoting that right foot, change the right hand and foot, shuttle forward, and separate, step, and strike. Now we're going to do it again the same direction, but smoother. Oh, question?
Can you call the chest direction?
Yes.
I mean, I know I've done it before. I just am having trouble just getting it at the right time.
Yep. Okay, we're going to do exactly the same thing. And shifting back, turn. Chest is to the corner. It stops at the corner. Chest is now at 9 o'clock. Chest is still at 9 o'clock. I've stepped and rotated my hand. My gaze is off now because I'm looking at where my chest is. Now, chest comes back as I come forward and stand on that right foot. This should feel a lot like parry, block, and punch right here, in a way. Chest is now to 12 o'clock. Chest is back to the corner. Now, sorry, I was calling that out in the directions we've been using, but they're not the directions it would actually be in. So let's go to the directions it would actually be in, right? I'm so sorry. I just can't sort of do that. All right, so this is the direction we will actually be in. Our chest is actually a little past corner when we start. We shift back. Chest is going to go all the way to the corner. Chest now pulls towards 12 o'clock. It opens to 12 o'clock. It stays there as we switched our arm and foot. Now it's come back to the corner, over to 3 o'clock, and then back to the corner. And one more time to get smoothness. Shifting back, turn, 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 turn. Chest stays at the corner, chest open to 12, back to the corner as we step, open to 3 o'clock, and back to the corner, bend knee, strike.
Thanks. I'm just gonna have to work through it. But the other question I have is, when you say this feels a lot like parry, block, and punch, is it that way? Is your heel lifted off when you?
Yes, the back heel's lifted off.
Thank you. Thanks.
That's what feels. It's the footwork that feels a little bit like parry, block, and punch, right? The only difference is that in parry of that last footwork, parry, block, and punch, you're kind of doing that duck walk like this. You know what I mean? You know, you're going like this and like this. But in this particular case, I think it's like this and like this, right? I mean, but it's going to feel, I'd have to focus on it, but you basically, your back foot is up. Right, because it's an empty step, because your foot is turned, and because you're going forward and your heel is up. So those are similarities. Yeah, it's a transition step. So we don't really call it an empty step, because an empty step is like, is a 30-70. Right. Your heels are in line, right? But it's one line, two sides most of the time when we're doing a transition step. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So just for kicks, we'll do it. We'll do it one more time. We're going to do it this direction again, so that you can actually see that footwork better, maybe. And we're going to shift back, turn, concentrating on the footwork. You see, the left foot is towards the corner. The right foot is now one line, two sides with the heel, but is turned off towards the wall. Then we put our weight on it, right? And the heel is up. We shuttle through and separate, turn, and ward off, and strike as we come forward. And once more from here. Shift back, turn, 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 turn. Shift back, pivoting that front foot, step, shuttle, turn, step, strike. Was that too fast? All right, we're going to try to fit in some more practice at the end. I want to show you what happens next. Because guess what? We're going to go 370 degrees. How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Well, I want you to just sort of watch first a few times, and I'll call out different parts. So here we are over here. This is where we would actually be. We're going to come down, our weight's going to go back. We are 40% on the front, 60% on the back, and our hands are going to make contact with our opponent. Now, I want you to think of single whip. We're here to grab them. You're not going to see the grab, but that's what we're doing. We're contacting them. Then, like single whip, we're going to come around and we're going to throw them away. Okay? if you can, you're going to get this left foot. See how mine has come all the way in this direction. There's a cheat we can do if you don't make it. It's all right. Then as I come back, I'm rotating my hands palm up. Why would I be doing that? Because I'm going to then turn. Here's one of those turns and step. Didn't step quite far enough. And strike. So I'm going to call out the parts of some of the parts of this that you've seen before in number 1. So what's going on? We're making contact here. You haven't seen that. Throw somebody away. Now this is Fair Lady Works the Shuttles. I'm getting a rotation. Look at this. I'm shuttling, stepping. Oh, look, I'm separating as I'm starting to move forward. And strike. Deflect up. What else have we seen before? Let's see, where are we? Here. Remember, oh, no, here, sorry. So we finished Fair Lady Wonder Mum. We come down. Where is our chest? Our chest was to the corner. When we come down, our chest has turned. Our chest turns. We pull. Our chest goes all the way, you know, to 6 o'clock. Then, as we shuttle, our chest comes to the corner and our arms kind of cross. And then, as we heel ball toe, our chest has come, it's not a very good step. As our heel ball toe, our chest is towards the, so our arms separate, our chest is towards the side of the room, towards 9 o'clock, and then it goes to the corner. So once again, we have 5 turns, we have a shuttle, we have crazy footwork. So I'm going to show it to you just at speed one more time so you can just watch it and sort of see number 2. The good news is number 2 is like number 4. I'm connecting. I'm throwing. Arms rotate, go back. And separate, strike. Sorry, here. I think I got too close to this to be comfortable. All right, so that's number 2. We go from this corner, from the 130 corner, all the way to the 1030 corner. It's going 270 degrees around. So how about we look at this footwork? So when we're here, we're going to shift back and turn, ideally, so that our back foot points straight to 6 o'clock. Then we're going to shift back, letting the front foot pivot. We're going to bring that foot in, the right foot in, turn our hips to the corner. Turn our hips to the corner. And I'm going to show you this in better detail. And then put our foot out towards the corner. It's going to feel like it's behind us. So I'm going to show this to you actually. Well, actually, let me show you the whole footwork first. So I'm going to come up a little further here. There we go. Here. It's hard to do it without actually doing it because you have your arms to balance. So now my feet are both aligned.
Sorry.
cross step. And now you'll see my chest is at the corner. So I'm shifting heel, ball, toe, and separating. And then the back foot closes, and my front knee bends. Seen from the second part of, let's see, we've seen from here, seen from here. Here we go. Here. See the footwork again. So I've turned the footwork, but the footwork, ideally, the back foot is here. You let go of the front foot and it pivots straight. It comes in, it comes back. You put your heel down and you put your toes to the corner. This is very similar. Very, very similar. Let's remember this. Do you see how my feet are aligned right now? And the good news is in the one we're doing today, maybe this left foot is further, is pointed straight. But when we're doing diagonal flying, we came like this. One of the tricks in diagonal flying, I mean, one of the things to remember in diagonal flying is, although you're going to be doing a bow step to the corner, that heel goes almost one line, two sides. Do you see that on how my lines are? It goes behind you. And you don't have to go all that far. You can like go this far. It goes behind you. And there's lots of tricks you can do so that you don't have to do it all at once. Yes.
Okay. I'm having some confusion on ending up in the bow step proper and beginning that way. So at the end of the shuttles, there should be a proper bow step.
Yes, to the corner.
And when I'm in a proper bow step, I guess maybe don't have my feet right, but when I turn if I have shoulder width apart in a bow step to the corner, and I turn my foot all the way this way, and then I release my heel, my feet are crossed. So I don't know how to do it not crossed if I'm in a bow step. Because if I start a bow step and I just turn and then release my foot, then.
Are we talking about, like you're talking about from here?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like we're here,
yeah.
Right? You're talking about from here?
Yeah,
Okay,
so if I have a bow step that's shoulder width apart and I check it for shoulder width apart, and then I
yes,
turn.
you are correct. You are correct that so if you look at my feet right now, and I really did this, I'm pretty much aligned in my step. I mean, everybody's going to be a little different, I think, but yes, it's not so. But what you're doing is you're actually going to completely empty that foot and allow it to follow your hips.
So if it's crossed, it's okay. Because I guess, I mean, if I'm in a bow step on the first shuttle, the end of the first shuttle with an actual shoulder width apart, and I checked it, I've turned my foot and put them next to each other to check my bow step. If I do that, then I will be crossed when I release.
So most of us humans want to do it this way. We come back and we want to go to the corner. And when we go to the corner, we just feel like we have a little more room, right, to get by here, rather than come all the way here. However, it's easier if you get all the way here. I don't know what everybody's bow step is a little different, but you and I seem to do the same thing. Right? Where am I? I mean, this is a good bow step.
Yeah, right.
This is a good
That's what I
bow
was
step.
saying, like
This is a
that.
good bow step.
Yeah,
I'm coming back and I'm turning. And no matter what you do, but what you're going to do is empty this foot and turn your hips. It's critical you turn your hips. So you're going to turn your hips and get off it. This is a point of weakness. There's no question, but you've
Okay.
thrown your opponent away.
okay, so it's okay. It's okay if it's crossed, as you turn and lift it then.
I don't see how it can be any other way.
Yeah,
I'll look at,
have a proper bow step, right?
yes.
I don't understand how you could.
If anyone else has ideas, let me know, but I'll check the video and check how Master Yang shows it. But maybe I'm missing something, but you're gonna shift back, turn. If you can't get all the way, if you can't get all the way, like this foot, like some of us can only get our foot maybe this far. If that's true, you can do this, right? Like we did on single whip, remember? That was our cheat on single whip. You can do this on this move, and then you can come back. So if you can't get it where you need it, then you can do it that way. Let's see if we can do it from here so you can actually follow the footwork. Let's see. We're going to start from here. Is that right? No, I want to, you know what? I think we do it in this direction. We'll do the first part. Let's actually do the first part of the whole thing. Let me teach you the hands for the first part. Let's at least do the first part of this. So let's split it. So the first thing to do is to know that when we come back, we're just shifting weight. Don't completely empty this foot originally. What we're doing is our chest is going to move to the side, to open to the side, and you're still looking at the corner. Your nose is pointing towards the corner, right? Draw a line from your nose to the corner. Let that be a whole plane that goes down. Your hands are going to cross that plane. Your palms are going to cross that plane. Let me move this towards you so you can see mine. Do you see how my hands are crossing the plane right here? And they look like this from the side. So my palm is open towards my middle forearm. It's a very natural position. Your arms kind of want to go there. Again, if you're being a sort of gorilla with your lower body and you want to stay glued to the floor, you need to be strong at this point. So be strong and heavy in your lower body. Now, bend your back knee and straighten your front knee. Your chest is now to the corner, not to the corner, to the side of the room. And your focus is on pushing and grabbing right here. You're going to push down a little and grab. It's a really, most people find it a natural position. That looks good. All right. The next part of this move, so we're going to do it from here now so that you can sort of follow me. So from here, we're at this corner now, to here. Now, shift all the way onto your sort of, or most of the way, I guess, onto your right foot. And let's see where we end up. Keep your elbows down, elbows down. Berlin, elbows down, or your elbows down. It's hard to say. Round the back, elbows down. Oh, maybe that was your picture. Okay, nice. And from here, it would look like this. So we shift back, push down, throw them away. Okay? When you're done, when you're finished throwing them away, let's look at the hands for a minute, the arms and the hands. When you're done finishing them away, are you here? Are you here? Or are you here? You're about here. You know this? You're about here or a little bit inside it. Okay? You're not way out here and you're not closed like this. We are open, but we're not way open. Okay? So that'll give us a sense of where we are. So from here, to do this first part, we're going to come down and connect, turn and throw. Here's an example of how far I'm open at the moment. Just to give you a sense of that. Looks good. Okay, so is this first part okay? Let's look again at that second. So if we are here, let's see, I'm going to let me get so I know where our feet are supposed to be. Why doesn't everybody do it to the corner away? I can watch you then. Okay, very good. So you're doing it, and then you're going to come down and turn. Okay. So how far did we make it? That's you folks are looking really great. Actually, those of you, I can see your feet. So now our footwork is we're gonna put our weight on the back foot. Let the right foot come through, turn our hips and put our heel down. It's not quite one line, two sides. It's for most people, it's about a fist distance further this way than that, but everybody's a little different. And then pivot your left foot in. And you should be in a bow step to the corner. Mine's a little narrow at the moment. Yes, Michael.
When you step around, I can't get my foot back in this corner. But if I turn and then I step to this point and turn with both on top of both my heels, I get back over this position easier. If I'm
yes,
turning with my heels.
So there's two options for you on that. Especially on this one, I think that works really well. So on this one, right? You put it here and you're saying just turn on both heels, right?
Correct.
Right. That's how I did it for years. And then when I'm really balanced and I really, my body's just perfect, I'm able to do it, right?
Yeah. But
I can't always do it. So this one, I don't have to do quite like that. This one, because one cheat you can do here, if you can't get this foot around, one cheat you can do here is on the balls of your feet to get them going the same direction. It's like pivoting it early, because we pivot this foot as we come back. but you end up in the same place. And then if this foot is really pointed towards, 6 o'clock, I'm doing it in different directions so you can see it. Then it's easier to come through and put your heel down. And then you can kind of make sure your hips turn. If your hips don't turn, it's really impossible, right? If your body's still here. But if your center is leading the way, then all you have to do is, as you say, Michael, is make sure your weight gets into the heel of this back foot so that as you turn your hips, you're not going to torque your knee. And you can just bring it in. In fact, the movement calls for bringing your back foot in last. So given that we have limited time, this is a big move. We will be going over it again, both next week, and it's the same move as number 4. So when we get to Fair Lady number 4, we can cheat and do the whole movement again if we want, right? So let's try it from this direction so I can go about the arms with you as well as the feet. And then feel free to ask questions on arms or feet. So here we are in a left bow step to the corner. Think, if you want to know what you're doing, think brush knee, left brush knee, only put the arm up. All right. 60% on the front when you start, 40% on the back. Remember, you want to be really glued to that floor, gorilla, lengthen that lower back. And bend that back knee, turn your chest towards the side, and your palms are crossing the line or the plane that you make going towards that corner. And now stand on that right foot and pivot, turn away from me. Nice. Now I want you to move weight to your back foot, rotate both palms up as you shift back, release that front foot. This looks really good. Now bring that front foot in, bend your right arm and start to turn towards the corner. Turn to the right and step back and shuttle your right arm under your left. Your chest is now to the corner. And your arms are going to feel kind of crossed. Then start to shift weight, heel, ball, toe, and pull. You're going to feel like you're pulling your left arm into that strike position, palm up, and your right arm is going to be warding off. Then strike, bend knee, and bring in that left foot. Erlyn, did you have a question? Okay.
No, I'm sure you're going to show us again.
I am going to show you again.
Right?
Yes. This time, I want to be somewhere else though, so that you can see it differently. Okay, so we were here. I think we need to start. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I want to try it here. So if you can do a bow step to away from me, right, left foot forward, and then we're going to come down to make contact. Remember, you turn your chest. It's looking nice, very good. And then we're going to swing and throw them. All right. Shifting back. We're freeing up that front foot and our palms are rotating. Turn to the corner and close step. Shuttle. The close is a shuttle here. And probably by this point, it's starting to come out. They're crossing. Then shifting your weight, because you've rooted with your right foot, heel, ball, toe towards the corner. You are warding, you can't quite see this. I'm warding off, my body's probably not showing it. And my hand is in ready, my arms are separated, and strike. Just wanted to be able to have an example of the footwork there. I think we need to do it from where it is. One more time. Left foot forward, coming down, making contact. Pull, 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 turn. Nice. Come back, pivot that right foot, palms up, bend that right elbow. You're turning towards the corner, close step. That's a shuttle, not a close. Arms separate, heel, ball, toe to the corner, and turn, bend knee, and ward off up. This is wild. How could we possibly do this in one session, right? It's just wild. Okay, we are going to do the first one and the second one. Okay, and think of those questions while we do it. From single whip. Fair lady number one, shifting back, turn, 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 body stays at the corner, and up, body opens up to the front of the room. I mean, to 12 o'clock, and back to the corner. Separate, strike, bend knee. And moving on to number two, shift back, contact along that line. Turn to the right, turn, turn, turn. It's looking really good. And shift back, pivot that front foot, rotate your arms, and to the corner as your foot goes back and makes that step, arms crossed, then heel, ball, toe, arms have separated. You're ready to strike, so shift your weight and strike. I know it's a lot. Do you even have a question?
My biggest problem I have is when I come to turn, it's make sure my right hand is underneath my left arm. So sometimes I get crossed, you know, but I know eventually this has to come over this hand.
Right, right. So let's
But it's just me,
let
you know.
me make sure I understand what you're talking about. So here,
Right,
here,
right,
right arm under left here. Then what it really feels like, you see how this foot is just rooted here, but it's not down yet? What it feels like is I turn my chest towards the wall. My body moves away from this arm. My arm doesn't even have to move back very far. My left arm kind of naturally goes there, right? That's a very powerful opening when I open my chest towards that wall. And I'm also shifting my weight forward. If I keep going with that turn, then I can strike.
right.
So is that where you were talking about the arms? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know what's supposed to be done. But when I get to this point, sometimes I go.
Absolutely.
I write it over my left. I'm going, now I'm really scared because now, you know.
I am laughing with you because I have literally been there. And eventually it feels very circular. It doesn't now, but eventually it feels very circular. So, and when it does, it gets much easier. Let's do it one more time from here. We're coming down and shifting our weight back. We're turning, we're throwing. We're gonna come backwards, rotate those arms, foot comes in. We're turning to the corner, step shuttle, and keep turning. As we turn, that we ward off and are ready to strike, and keep moving and strike.
Yeah, I like that motion as far as coming around and making the circle patterns. And
Right. When you know it, it's actually a very lovely, so you never stop. You never stop. You just keep going. And there's circles, there's part of you going like this and part of you going like this. You know, there's circles and spirals, and it feels really lovely once you're doing it. And of course, all that goes out of consciousness because
Right.
It just feels really lovely. But that may be 2 years from now. It takes a while. So we are at time. Nobody ever gets this in the first class. This is like trying to do parry, block, and punch, right, in one class or something like that. So so don't worry. We have all the time in the world to get the fair ladies because they're very important, and we will keep working on them. Thanks for all the hard work today. Tongjimin Zaichen.